Hey, what's up? Brian Kohler here, and today I want to just give you a sneak peek into ChatGPT. It's surprising to me how many people have an opinion about something that they haven't actually logged into and used long enough to figure out how it works. And what I found as I've done webinars and spoken to a ton of HR people lately is it's just a kind of I don't know what I don't know, and I don't have the time to wrap my head around it. It's brand spanking new technology that we haven't used anything like, and so the unknown is actually kind of holding us back. So I figured I would take a minute and just run through an example where you could see as the average HR person, as the average office manager, as the average recruiter, or even business owner, something you've done, a guarantee you've done in the past, rewritten a job ad, and something that you've all wanted, better applicant flow from that ad using ChatGPT. And so I'm just going to actually jump right in. Now, here's the thing as far as what you can do with ChatGPT. There's a ton of open possibilities, research and brainstorm, outlining, mapping out projects. But I can tell you the number one thing I use it for is writing, and more specifically, rewriting content. Just keep in mind, it's a magic wand, it's not the wizard. What I mean by that is it's my job to be the wizard. I'm the one telling it what to do, not the other way around. And so that's usually the first misconception. Now, when it comes to writing job ads or making them more engaging, my number one focus is making sure that we know who we're writing to and what kind of content we write that would actually get them excited about the job. And so based off of that, if I come and use the normal approach to ChatGPT, which I'm going to show you in a second, of just throwing a prompt at it and saying, write me a job ad, then most likely I'm not going to get great results. The way to think about it is this knows everything, but nothing about you. More specifically, if you don't give it context, then you're having it assume context from its language model, from all the other job ads in the world. So if you want something to be written that's more specific to you, you're going to have to tell it about yourself, just like you would with a brand new assistant that you just hired to write for you. And that's really, from a mindset standpoint, the way to think about any GPT technology is regardless of what the founders say, or regardless of what the programmers say, just because it can guess what you mean doesn't mean that it's going to do a good job of guessing it. Instead, think of this like a brand new employee. Even if you hired somebody who had tons and tons of experience, you would need to provide them context in order to get them on the same page communicating with you. You would start with your backstory. Who are you? What is your backstory? Where did you come from? What does your company do? Who's the target reader for whatever content we're creating? The job seeker, the employee, the customer, etc. What is our goal? What are we trying to accomplish with this content? What are the unique details, the context, so that we can wrap it in with specific things to us? Then we can use a prompt to say, research this, brainstorm that, outline that, write, whatever the case may be. Then when it comes back, it's our job to assume this is a draft, not a finished product, and to proofread it, to adjust if we want, to give it feedback and have it adjusted, have it recall something or change the naming convention on something or whatever. And then we can edit it and post it in whatever platform we want. In this instance today, it would be a job. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I take somebody's job and go about rewriting it to make it more engaging. The very first thing I'm going to do is the same thing everyone else does. They just go and they snag the job ad from the job boards. In this instance, this is actually one of my clients. And I'm just going to rewrite their job ad really quick here. Here is their job. It is for a copywriter position, right? And so instead of coming into ChatGPT and saying, please, oh my goodness, write a job ad for a copywriter job, which clearly would be extremely vague. Copywriter is a vague term. It's actually not a term used in the world of web marketing, even though I believe that's what they're looking for here. And job ad is a vague term. It assumes that it knows what an ad is. And so when we start right off the bat, yeah, I got back something similar to what was written over here. But I can also just take this and say, here is my current ad. You see, even just copying and pasting in our current job description is better than giving it no context at all. At least now it knows who our company is, it knows a little bit about it, et cetera, et cetera. And so now we can start to get more information now, or a better ad. But at this point, making this more engaging requires me to stop thinking that it's a job description and instead that it's an advertisement. And so it's as simple as giving it feedback and saying, when I say job ad, I don't mean job description. And I might put legal in here, right? I don't mean a legal job description. I mean a compelling marketing piece that would get job seekers excited about applying because this job sounds like an upgrade to them. All right, now in this instance, what I've done is I'm redefining in this one conversation, not for all of ChatGPT and not even for my whole account, but just in this conversation thread, when I say job ad, I mean something different than a job description, right? And in that instance, it suddenly changes the conversation. Now we're starting to refine. Now, I didn't give it even a ton of specifics. I might want to get very specific about what I mean when we write a job ad. So for instance, I might say, from now on, I want to use a killer job ad that follows the flow of elevator pitch, what it's like to work for us, a day in the life. And this elevator pitch, you might say, I want a engaging and compelling introduction to the job, what it's like for work for us, a day in the life in this position, what you need to know to be qualified, what you'll have to learn. Now I'm defining out a framework even further. And at this point, now it's going to start writing ads in the structure, in the outline that I want it to be, right? And so now you can see it suddenly has jumped back into, this is just a framework. And so let's now ask it, can you use the killer job ad framework to rewrite following job? And at this point, I can now go grab whatever job I want, right? I've defined I'm doing it for the same exact client. I'm doing it for the same company. But I can go ahead and grab this, come back over in, and paste it in. And at this point, because I've at least defined out what a killer job ad is, it should theoretically follow my framework, right? What sets us apart, the role, a day in the life, right? Now, you can see here, a day in the life is still doing duties or task-based. And so I might want to give it some feedback and say, a day in the life section is supposed to be a story. Giving it feedback causes it to rewrite. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rewrite what that would be like. Now, at this point, go ahead and write, and it should be good to go. And so at this point, you can see that we're going through, right? This job title, clearly we may need to adjust a little bit. It's giving us a much more engaging ad. It's flowing the right way. This is a long ad, but it's an engaging story-based ad. Does it mean you have to use the whole thing? No. Take and grab whatever you want from it, throw the rest away. It's still going to be much better than the job ad that you're currently running. And this is how simple it is to use ChatGPT to rewrite your job ad.